Welcome back to Pink's Garage. Pink here. We're back on the Mustang project car again, and I just wanted to do a quick little video here to show you some of the work I've done since the last video. Hadn't been a lot done. I'm prepping to get ready to leave for India for a couple of weeks, so we're going to have to halt the progress of the car for a little while. But today I have been working on removing the original fuel tank and straps from the car, as well as the rear bumper and everything in the way in the back, because it's all going to get redone. We're putting the fuel cell in. I got to make some cuts for that. Once that's all put in and mounted, then we'll remount some stuff. And I'm looking at probably redoing possibly a different rear bumper, maybe something a little lighter. Not sure yet. We shall see. The one that's on there is fairly heavy, but it's not like huge weight. But I need to have a bumper on it no matter what, because probably will license this thing so it can be on the road. I'm going to need the bumper on it to keep it from getting bashed at the rear end. But let me show you here some of the stuff I've done. We have the new fuel tank that's going to go right in there. When I'm done, I'm going to have to do some metal forming here. We're going to have to make some cuts down there to make this fit right. I'm going to want the sump part of the tank down there to actually go through the floor. Possibly going to turn this around so that's facing forward. But right now, let's just set it in there for looks. It's square, so in the back here you can see bumper's removed. So no bumper, no fuel tank straps, all that's gone. It's a lot of dead weight I'm not going to need. I've got this big hole here where the fuel filler went. I'm going to need to plug that and patch it. Possibly going to weld the fuel filler shut so that I don't have to deal with that anymore. And there you have all the hoses for the fuel lines. They're all going to get ripped out. They are toasted. They're brittle and everything, but I got to clean all this up. I'm going to wire brush it all, clean it up, and paint it, primer it at least. Eventually I'll paint. So the rear end, you can see it's got a lot of rust on it too, but it's just, you know, surface rust. It's pretty heavy duty. I'll remove the rear end and clean it up as well as I can. Wire brush, paint again, just something to make it look better. Also, possibly going to redo these brake lines. I'm not sure yet. If they're working, fine, I'll leave them, but I kind of like to get new brakes on here completely. I'd like to switch to a disc brake, but the conversion kit's kind of spendy. But we'll see what happens, maybe in the future. You see this right here, I see a lot of oil on the bottom side of that. I'm afraid, I'm hoping that this rear end's good. If not, I'll have to have it rebuilt or buy a different one. So, might need to do some reinforcement back here on the rear end. Try and strengthen it up some. Looks like we've got some new brake lines back here as well that I did not notice before. This is my first time seeing that. I don't know if it's just the one. I think it is. I think it Y's out after that, and that's just the one that can move. So all the flexible brake lines seem to have been replaced. So there is that. Still have a lot of work on the interior. As you see, panels are still in. I've still got plastic here, there, and everywhere. Whole front end needs redone. Now if I swap the doors with the other car I have, they've already been stripped. So I'm done with that. Get this headliner out, all this insulation out. Not going to be any real need for it. It's all for sound deadening and to keep the car warm and cool depending on summer or winter. Not really going to worry about that. It's going to be for the drag strip. I think I'm going to need to get new shocks in the rear. Those are all rusted up, and I'd prefer to have some nice new ones. Need to stiffen up the rear end anyway. But that's about it. I mean, it actually took hours to get this done. Fuel tank's still sitting outside. I've capped it off. It's got about 5 gallons of gas in it, which I need to dispose of. It's pretty dirty. Just looking inside the fuel tank, just when I took it off, it was pretty messed up. So front bumper's also going to be removed. We're going to take all this off, clean it up, and we're going to replace the radiator support. I have one, the other radiator support in the other car is fine. I am not sure if those come off or if I'm going to have to cut it off and re-weld. I believe it's going to be a cut-off because that looks to be a solidly welded on piece. But as this is the first time I'm doing this to a car, if it ends up being too hard, I will just reform this one and make it work. But I wouldn't mind getting a new one on there. And you know, I can cut the metal off, that's pretty easy. Just make sure I cut them exactly the same, or at least cut the other one a little bit bigger so that I can form it in. But basically I only need from here to here. Everything else seems to be fine. But I'm going to pull this front bumper off as well. So this pump that was installed up here, it's the wrong spot for this pump. This pump should have been in the rear by the tank. And that's where I'm going to put it. So I will be using that pump for now. It's rather small, but it flows 38 gallons per hour at 4 to 7 psi, which should be enough for the starter build on this motor. I don't think we're going to be above 350 horsepower on it. So we should have plenty of fuel with that. Yeah. And now I'm debating if I should pull this motor out and rebuild it completely. It looks like it's got a lot of new parts on it, but I'm not sure who did what. And as you can see right there, we've got a gasket in here that doesn't look right because it's not matching up to everything on the water pump and timing gear. So I'm not sure what the hell's going on there. I guess we'll find out. If we ever get this thing done and fired up and it starts shooting water, oil, or whatnot out of there, we will know. So if anybody's got any comments, you know, or knows a lot more about these than I do, please let me know in the comments below. I would appreciate it because I am not a mechanic. I know this is Pink's garage, but it's my home garage, and that's what I am, is a home mechanic. Self-taught and YouTube certified. So that's going to be it for now. Just like I said, a quick short video just to show you the progress and how everything's going. And I hope you enjoyed it. Please stay tuned for more videos on this project car coming up in the future. Make sure to like and subscribe and share this video with your friends. I appreciate it. And that's going to be it for now. So keep those motors running. Later.